Beyond the words, understanding the client's objectives and priorities. This lecture is about reading between the lines. It's not enough to know what the client wants. You need to understand why they want it. What are their real goals and priorities? The importance of understanding client objectives. The RFP tells you what they're asking for, but understanding their objectives tells you why. This deeper understanding is what separates a good proposal from a great one. Benefits of understanding client objectives. If you know their objectives, you can tailor your solution to their specific needs. Craft a message that resonates with them, show them you understand their challenges, build a stronger relationship, and even anticipate what they'll need in the future. Techniques for uncovering client objectives. How do you learn this? Analyze the RFP carefully. Research their website and public statements. Understand their industry. Build relationships with them. Ask smart questions. Analyze their past projects, and monitor what's being said about them. It's a combination of research and relationship building. Stated versus implied objectives. There are two types of objectives. Stated objectives are what the client explicitly tells you in the RFP. Implied objectives are the underlying reasons behind those stated objectives, what they really want to achieve. Okay, let's start diving into the practical framework for understanding our client. The first section is all about establishing the context. You can't truly understand what they want in this RFP without knowing who they are as an organization. This is client background and strategic context. It's about gathering foundational intelligence. Think of it as doing your homework before a crucial meeting. You wouldn't go into a meeting with a key client without researching them first, right? Bidding is the same. We're going to break this down into a few key areas, which we'll cover in the next few slides, but this slide is the introduction to that section of the framework. Explanation of the subsections. What kind of homework are we talking about? Well, it includes things like client overview, understanding their core business, mission, and organizational structure. This gives you a sense of their fundamental purpose and how they operate. Strategic goals, figuring out what they're trying to achieve in the next few years. Are they focused on growth, efficiency, innovation? This tells you where their priorities lie. Industry and market analysis, looking at the bigger picture, the trends and challenges in their industry. This helps you understand the pressures they're under and the opportunities they're pursuing. Why this is important connects to the overall goal. Why do we care about all this? Because it allows us to tailor our solution. If we know their strategic goals, we can show how our solution helps them achieve those goals. Speak their language. If we understand their industry, we can use the right terminology and demonstrate that we're knowledgeable. Anticipate their needs. If we know the challenges they face, we can address those proactively in our proposal. In essence, this section of the framework is about building a foundation of knowledge that will inform every aspect of our bid strategy and proposal development. Analysis and interpretation. Then, carefully analyze the RFP to find both stated and implied objectives. What are they directly asking for? What can you infer about their needs and pain points? Stakeholder analysis and relationship building. Identify the key people involved in the decision. What are their roles and priorities? Do you already have relationships with them? How can you build stronger connections? Needs assessment and consultative approach. When you talk to the client, ask smart, probing questions. Listen actively to their answers. This is about understanding their perspective, not just pitching your solution. Value proposition development and information synthesis. Finally, use what you've learned to craft a compelling value proposition. How does your solution address their real needs? Summarize their objectives and create an action plan to incorporate them into your proposal by focus on the following aspects. How can our proposed solution directly address the client's stated and implied needs? How can we articulate our value proposition in a way that resonates with their priorities? How can we differentiate ourselves from the competition by demonstrating a deeper understanding of their needs? Summary of key objectives and priorities. Action plan. Example application. To solidify your understanding, let's walk through a practical example. Imagine a software company that specializes in building customer relationship management, or CRM systems. They're considering bidding on a project for a large insurance company that wants to replace its outdated CRM. How would they use our framework? First, they'd tackle client background. They wouldn't just jump into the RFP, they'd research the insurance company itself. They'd look at the insurance company's stated strategic goals. Is the company focused on increasing sales, improving customer retention, enhancing their digital presence? This tells the software company what's likely to be important to the client. They'd also analyze the challenges the insurance company faces. Are they struggling with inefficient sales processes? Do they have trouble keeping customers happy? Are their current systems clunky and hard to use? Knowing these pain points helps the software company tailor its solution. Finally, they'd consider industry trends. The insurance industry is being disrupted by new technologies and changing customer expectations. Things like personalized communication, mobile access, and data analytics are becoming crucial. The software company needs to understand these trends to offer a modern solution. Next, they'd move to RFP analysis. They'd carefully examine the stated requirements in the RFP. What specific features does the insurance company want in the new CRM? What integrations do they need? What kind of reporting capabilities are they asking for? But they'd also look for implied needs. If the RFP emphasizes customer self-service, that implies a need for a user-friendly interface. If they talk about increasing sales, that implies a need for strong sales automation tools. The software company tries to read between the lines. Then comes stakeholder analysis. The software company would identify the key decision makers at the insurance company. Who are the heads of sales, marketing, and customer service? What are their individual priorities? What kind of influence do they have? If the software company already has any relationships with people at the insurance company, they'd leverage those connections to gain further insights. The next step is a needs assessment. If possible, the software company would try to have conversations with people at the insurance company. They'd ask probing questions to uncover their challenges and priorities. Questions like, what are your biggest frustrations with your current CRM? Or what are your top priorities for a new system? Finally, they'd move to information synthesis and action plan. They'd summarize all the information they've gathered about the insurance company's stated and implied needs. Then, they'd create a plan for how to address those needs in their proposal, ensuring that their solution and messaging are perfectly aligned with what the client truly cares about. This detailed approach, going far beyond just reading the RFP, is what allows the software company to create a truly compelling and persuasive bid. Key takeaways. Understanding the client is about more than just reading the RFP. It's about proactive research, active listening, and strategic thinking. This is how you win bids, by truly connecting with your client.